Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to another transfer contract reaction show. I don't know what to call it, transfer reaction. Because technically it is a transfer because Dembele was a free agent for all of 10 days, 14 days, and now he has re-signed a new contract with Barcelona. So he's going to stay at Barcelona. Massive pay cut that he has taken. I believe it's around 140,000 euros that I think he's taken. I think his last contract, it's quite a significant reduction on his last contract. And to be fair, not a lot of clubs were interested in him, especially at the wages that he was asking for. He has been very injury prone, to be honest, as hasn't quite fulfilled his potential after his big move to Barcelona. And therefore it makes sense that there were not too many clubs interested, and I think Barcelona gave a good offer. His family settled there, he's been there for a while. You kind of take that offer and you move on. So it's not surprising that the deal has been done, but I do think that it is surprising that it's been done now. I mean, I think what's surprising, it's not surprising that the deal has been done now, I should say, but I think it has been surprising that there were not a lot of clubs interested in him before, and maybe that's because of his wage demands, maybe because of his injury record. It's a lot of different factors, but I think Chelsea, I think, were the only club that were really interested because of Tuchel being his former manager, I guess, but in the Dortmund connection. But I think ultimately staying at Barcelona is the right decision. I don't think for Barcelona it's a good deal as well, because one, they do get a good player. He's still a good player. He's just very injury prone, but he's still a good player when he does play. And so they've got a good player who will now stay at the club, and they don't have to buy another right winger, of course. And also, I think because they already have Raphinha coming in, they don't really need a starting right winger as such. They can have them alternate and rotate. So hopefully that will also help Dembele keep his injury issues in check. So I think it's a good deal from that perspective of Barcelona as well. They get to keep a player and they get to give him at reduced wages. So that's something that they really need. Today might be a Barcelona-centric day, by the way, just to point out, we might have a couple more things coming up about Barcelona. I mean, there's news coming away about Frenkie de Jong, also about other players. So we'll try to keep in touch. There might be other news to come as well about Barcelona. So be mindful of that. So if you don't like Barcelona, maybe today is not a day for you on this channel, but you know what, there's still good content, interesting stuff that we're talking about. So anyway, that was a good, so going back to Dembele, I think it's a good deal. And I think how he fits in is that he's probably going to be a sub. Right wing. I don't think he's going to be a starter. I don't think you can make him a starter anyway, because he gets injured so much. I don't think you can really start him in games anyway. But even if he were to start games, I think having Raphinha there now allows them to not be so dependent on him, so they can kind of rotate between the two. And he does offer flexibility in options as well. I think he plays a number 10, doesn't usually play as a number 10, but he could play as a number 10. You could also play him on the left as a sort of inverted winger. So you can do that as well. So he does offer flexibility in different positions, which I think is very, very important for Barcelona anyway, especially considering all the issues that they have with players right now. So he does offer that. And so I think it's a good deal in terms. He's still very young. I think he's only 25, 26. So he's still got time on his side. And I believe it's only a 2-year contract. So I think that's, again, something that might be interesting as well, because I think what that means for Barcelona is, again, they're not sure about his injury issues, so they don't want to give him a long contract, because if they give him a long contract, then they're stuck with him in case his injuries get worse. So with a 2-year contract, it allows them to have that freedom and flexibility as well, to know they're only going to pay him for 2 years. If he does well in those 2 years, they can give him a new contract again. If he doesn't do well, they can kind of get rid of him pretty easily, because that's the way it works. So I think overall it's a smart deal from Barcelona, and that's what I think getting at. It's a very smart deal from Barcelona, because it is very heavily weighted in favor of Barcelona. Everywhere that you look at it, it looks like Barcelona come out the winners from this deal. Now, some might say that giving a contract to a player like Dembele is probably not the smartest thing to do, but you've got to think of the fact that if they let him go, they've got to bring another player, and they probably don't have the money to bring in another right winger. So keeping him for another 2, for now, allows them to save on transfer fees as well as get a reduction in wages. So I think it's a smart deal from Barcelona's point. What I was taking note, though, from this deal is the fact that what Laporta said about Dembele when the contract was signed. If you look at the words that he said, I'm paraphrasing, yes, not exactly what he said, but he said we wanted Dembele to stay, want Dembele to stay. It's good he's staying, and it's good that he has taken a wage cut, because that shows that he's happy to stay, that he wants to stay and want to be a part of the future. So that's something what he said. I'm paraphrasing, it's not the exact words that he used, but that is interesting to me, because Laporta, everything is political. And this is basically him saying, if you want to stay at the club, you should be willing to take a pay cut. And that is, it applies to Pique, it applies to all the other players. Most importantly, it applies to Frenkie de Jong. And the way now that this is structured, I think they need to get rid of Frenkie de Jong anyway, because even if they get him to reduce his wages, it's still a massive deal that's going to hang over their heads. So they want to get rid of him, but what they're now trying to do is set a statement of saying, well, Frenkie de Jong didn't want to take a wage cut, and that's why they're selling him, because he doesn't want a salary reduction, he doesn't want to stay at Barcelona. You can see that a little bit. I mean, I know it's a little bit of reading with the lines, but if you read between the lines, you do get that from him, because what he's trying to say is, because that's really the thing. It's always been about that. The way that they've always talked about this deal is that it's been Frenkie de Jong. We want to give Frenkie de Jong, but we need to negotiate his salary. And that is the thing. And therefore, when they do sell Frenkie de Jong, it will be about the fact that they couldn't negotiate his salary. And therefore, we're selling him because he's the bad guy. He doesn't want to take a pay cut. That's the way they're going. And now they're doing the same thing with Dembele. Now the Dembele is signing on a pay cut. It's like, well, you want to stay at Barcelona. He took a pay cut. He wanted to stay at Barcelona. Frenkie de Jong didn't take a pay cut. He didn't want to stay at Barcelona, and that's why we're getting rid of him, not because we need the money. So it's mind games in some ways, and it's interesting mind games. But we'll see how that one progresses. And there's updates. I really don't want to talk. There's an update on De Jong, but I don't want to talk about it right now. We'll see if we'll talk about it. I don't think we'll do a whole separate video about that. But in a future video, we might talk about it in passing. But quite frankly, I really don't want to get into it because that's just a deal that's bugging me out of my mind. But anyway, if you enjoyed the smash a like for Dembele, smash a like for Barcelona. If you enjoyed this deal, of course, it's a smart deal for Barcelona. I think it's a good deal. And but let me know in the comments, what do you think? What do you think about this deal? For Barcelona's point of view, from Dembele's point of view, how do you think he's going to fit in the team? Obviously, happy to hear your comments, of course. If you enjoyed this video, do remember to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook as well. Like I said, lots of things happening, lots of news coming out, and so we're trying to do as many videos as we can. And it's a bit of a different time, but I'm going to try to do as much as we can. So if you do subscribe, you get notified, and of course, we appreciate your support. So always happy for that. So thank you so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you again soon.